Get out my school, get out my school. Take your stupid red shirts and get out my school. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Motherland, Fort Salem. We're now into episode 9, which is called, But I Don't Even Have a Dress. So, not exactly sure what that is for. I'm not sure why we need a dress at this point, but there are a lot of things happening in the Motherland universe at the moment. With the last episode, we had a few pretty bold moves happen. One of the main ones being that Tetra has basically said, I'm sick and tired of playing the president's game. I'm going to get out into the battlefield, and she got rid of his little pet project following her around. But of course, Blanton is on to the fact that something is going on between the witches and in the session and the military. But in the end, despite everything, the fugitives decided that it was best for everyone for them to turn themselves in because the fighting and the killing was not going to end, especially after watching a bunch of soldiers end up in the crossfire of the standoff happening in the session. So in the end, they said, look, we don't want to keep causing people to die here. Let's just go. We know it's going to be done very publicly. So if they do anything to us without any type of just cause, it's going to definitely, raise alarms. Outside of that, we see that Tally actually has lost her sight, her ability to see into the future, which was part of her innate witch abilities. She traded that for a piece of the first song. So now they're actually just one piece away from completing it. And apparently they're putting a lot of faith in the hope that this song is going to work in order to stop whatever it is the Camarilla is planning. But it's a very, shall we say, Hail Mary type of plan, because we have no idea this first song, what it's supposed to do and if it's going to be enough. But it's got to be at this point, because I think we're getting very close to the finale, and we know that the Camarilla is militarizing and getting ready to basically take over and just wipe out witchcraft and witchkind as a whole very soon. So lots of stakes on the table. Interested to see how things are going to go now that the girls are going to be going back to Fort Salem. Well, actually, probably back to jail. I don't think they're going to be allowed to go back to Fort Salem. So we'll have to see where things go from here. I'm ready to jump into the episode. But before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do reactions here to shows like this. So if that's your bag, I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, join the family, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I do more reactions. Obviously, this show's coming to a close, but I do a lot more like this, so I'd love to have you here. And the same goes for those of you who've been here before. Welcome back. If you haven't already, please join the fam, send some comments below. I love hearing from you guys. And you know what? We're on that march to 10K. We're getting closer and closer. So we'd love to have you here. All right, that out of the way, guys. Let's get into the episode right about now.
Silver's troops are on their way to take you into custody.
Well, it's better than being executed on the spot, I suppose.
Silver lining. I forgot about President Wade. I'm not going to lie. Oh, no. Who had a car accident and bloodily made their way to this cabin conveniently located? Oh, that's not good.
There was an accident.
Clearly.
The marshal was driving and then suddenly aged in an instant and lost control of the car.
Oh, his biddies. Damn, that's why you don't let the marshals drive, I guess. Where is he?
Oh.
She's like, did I sleep with that just yesterday?
We are now completely snowed in.
What about food?
We're gonna have to eat the marshal. It's gonna be some powdered food from here on out.
We still have one day's firewood left.
Yay! The president's looking at her like, I thought you did magic, girl. What you mean we only got... Why can't you craft up some food here? Why can't you sing us a meal? Obviously, someone will find them at some point. You think you're a man by pushing no one's head like that?
We were planning on getting married. Congratulations.
I love how Tally always sees the sunshine and everything.
Put these on.
In here? You perverts?
This is not about getting a guilty verdict. That's guaranteed. Your real jury is the American people.
And as usual, you always underestimate the American people. People are sheep. There is no doubt about that, but when things just feel wrong, they feel wrong. Ah, Camarilla. Tech, interesting.
The murder of President Silver's daughter,
She's not
Penelope.
dead.
The assassination of former President Kelly Wade.
Not dead either.
conspiring with Nick de Batan, the leader of the spree.
Okay,
The
that part's true.
destruction.
That part is true. Nicta really does deserve to be punished, though. Let's be real. She did do a lot of damage.
Anything from Anacostia?
It's been 2 days since I heard from her.
Have they tried showing her dad to see what she respond to? I feel like she needs to see something familiar. She's only seen the people who caused her, like, ultimate trauma.
I feel I should warn you. This song might bring the mountain down on our heads.
Okay. Not all to be like, screw it, I've already died once. Let's just go out with a bang.
You're upright. Why wouldn't you do it?
She's like, I've been underground for 3 weeks. What the hell?
I didn't want to fight. I despised the military because I knew I would end up dying just like my mother, fighting to protect people who hated me.
Period.
But do not let them use this trial to take us back to the burning times.
All right, that's enough.
That sounds too truthful.
Please escort the defendants back to their cell.
He was affected, though. You can see in his face. Especially the daughter statement. I'm here!
They can change their faces. This isn't Wade.
You don't think it's me, Blanton?
Woo! That must have felt good. That must have felt so good.
Check my fingerprints.
Oh my God, that was the queen line of the season. I'ma do that. Next time someone gets in my way, check the fingerprints.
I have also exonerated the Belleweather unit.
Know that.
Of all charges against them.
Period.
And misinformation.
Get out my school. Get out my school. Take your stupid red shirts and get out my school.
We must face our own
get comfy, Blanton. It's your house now. And when you find out your daughter's still alive and she gonna hate you too.
Great. I gave up my sight, which would be really helpful right now. I feel hopeless.
Not you, Tally. You're the hopeful one.
Gregorio.
I haven't seen that guy in forever. I forgot he was even part of the cast.
It was a badge of honor.
That's why you get to stay. Ooh, soft ice. Like, Dale's like, well, I guess I'll leave. That's my cue. Jeez. Don't let me interrupt.
You're staying.
No. Well, clothes are, all right, I'll think about it. Do you hear that?
Take the free food, girl. That's what anyone goes to a wedding for, is the free food. Let's be real. And the drinks. Although I understand why she probably shouldn't hang out a little too much. You know, she still technically is a war criminal.
I can't help but feel like we're whistling past the graveyard.
You gotta be in the moment, sis. You're right, but you gotta enjoy the good times when they're there.
But today,
we celebrate our friends.
Exactly. Celebrate the fact that you're still here. Y'all came this close and have your vocal cords cut out. Come on now.
What would I do without you?
Hopefully we
you'll
don't
never have to find out.
Yes, that's exactly it. Let's hope we don't have to find out.
How is it that you're here?
It was Kalita. She heard me singing and literally moved a mountain to get to me.
Hey! Queen!
This girl might be the most powerful witch who has ever lived.
Don't you ever forget it. Yeah, she's like, I know, but you guys can gush about me when I'm gone. But within earshot.
I'm gonna go and find Tally.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you for everything.
You turned out to be less of a jerk than when you started out. We appreciate it.
Oswano, Upway,
Sister!
there's something very important we need to talk about.
Now? Oh yeah, I guess maybe it's the earth and sky thing. Or maybe she, got a boyfriend with that farmer boy she was hanging out with, because they was making some eyes a couple episodes ago. I saw that.
Finally, out of excuses.
Yeah, it's a double wedding, girl. Let's get to the baby making. A deal's like, I remember, a deal's a deal. I mean, double weddings are kind of creepy, but whatever.
Our
Last season.
whole family's here.
Sad, but yes. All right, we don't have a ring or anything, but let's just do this.
This is crazy, right? That I'm even considering this?
Oh, it is.
You were going to be married off, to a high Atlantic freak a couple months ago.
So grab onto something real,
Exactly.
beautiful, and true.
If you've learned nothing this season, is that you got to live in the present. Come on,
But
girl.
I don't
He
need
fine
my
and he love you.
dress.
There's the
You
line.
need to go talk to your grandmother.
You know your grandmother's been preparing for this since birth.
Fit like it was made
Oh,
for you.
it's hideous. Oh no. Can't you magic something better?
So much of that history has been lost, stolen from us. But this is a piece
Facts.
that survives. Just like I cherish you.
Grandma's a big softie. At least for Abigail.
And I can't risk your safety.
This is true.
So what you have me do in the meantime?
Celebrate your loved ones while you can.
Right? I know that you want to help Tally, and I know that you really care about Alder, but Alder's lived like 16 lifetimes. Like, she's like, dude, even if I go, like, enjoy your one life. You ain't got no biddies. Come on now. The difference in the wedding outfits is so interesting. I'm sorry, I hate Abigail's dress. I'm sorry. Classic dresses have their appeal, but I just am not a fan of like that really kind of old 20s look, you know? I don't know, it's just me. But I get that this whole society is supposed to be a little bit more on the traditional side. Oh, the president. Okay, listen, you know you're important when the president be the person who's officiating your wedding, okay? I wish Obama would. Oh, we don't get to hear the vows? Y'all just cold, okay. But do you see how this is happening? I feel like, where do you focus your attention? This is why I would never want to go to a double wedding. I just feel like it's weird. And I just feel like I would want to have my own moment. I'm that person. I feel like each person should have their moment. But anyway, I understand how cute it is though to have like your wedding anniversary you can share with someone you really care about. But look at the president like, Dad's such a cutie. Oh, okay, even the president's like, I'm so bad you found another biddy because I was not dealing with that crack nonsense.
There are many lives that you still need to answer for.
Can I finish my drink first?
Can you calm down?
And although I might not have lit that match, I definitely poured fuel on that fire, so I'm ready to own that.
Fair.
A pardon is off the table. Understood?
Yes.
I think that's fair. I mean, she's, like I said, remember season 1, like a lot of innocent people died, and that's just not okay. So, y'all, there's gotta be a bedroom somewhere. Anywhere? A closet? There are children at this wedding. Yes, I include Kalita in that.
Guess I can't be mad at her for wanting to protect our little girl.
He's such a good man.
Yes, you can, Dad. You should be. We both should be.
It's not him.
And we both had to pay the price for that.
Well, so where does that leave us?
Exactly. She's already gone. She's paid the ultimate price.
But we can figure it out together.
Yeah, we can.
Aw, cutie pies. That's why men like him live long, honestly. Like, it seems like it's a weak move, but it's not. Forgiving is just for your own good. Seeing the best is for your own good.
Ever since I first tried Jen's working, there's been something growing inside of me.
A baby?
It's like Grandma said, so much of our history was stolen from us. Who knows what we were capable of?
Girl, preach. On a deeper level.
They've been afraid ever since Jem crushed a Camaria's skull with a whisper.
Woo! Kind of wish we met Jen. Hey, how's life, Blanton?
I hope you're feeling rested, Mr. President.
Like, he was literally in the most lowest security prison possible. Anyway.
The bride.
I never got to find out what Kalita said to her
Drinking
brother.
to each and every one of them. Cheers.
Cheers.
I need to know. Was this about the earth and sky thing that she clearly knows about?
You are blind. Please put down your head.
All due respect, though, this is not the way I'd be spending my honeymoon night. Like, I like my friends a lot, but girl, I got better things to be doing. Pun fully intended.
That inside you're twisted and unkind.
I love seeing Anna Costi loved up too, though. She's always been like so solitary these past couple seasons. Oh, he can be affected by her now. I forgot about that. You do realize they all get combat training, right? But anyway. Look at this arrogant ass. I don't want her to die. It's not looking good for her, though. He probably doesn't want her to die, though, because he's going to want to understand what she's done. Oh, Do we have to have a speech? God, please. Ew. Oh, I cannot wait for him to die. He better die this season too, because I swear if the season ends and he doesn't die, I'll be pissed.
Hello, Mother.
I don't like that.
What are they saying?
It's scientific.
You gotta get going.
Ray?
Oh no. That's not good. That's really not good. Alder? Alder sis, you want to come back? Why'd you go? Oh man. Well, I guess we had to know there had to be a reason to use this first song. Well, here it is. I can't believe that they actually thought the Camarilla would just step back, but I guess they already said they knew that they were going to make a move at some point, but they didn't know what it would be. Ah, well guys, that was episode 9 of Fort Salem, Motherland Fort Salem. And yes, the dress, I had a feeling it had to do with the wedding, but I wasn't sure if we are going to get there. This episode definitely felt like they stepped on the gas pedal and just skipped straight to what would have normally been kind of a logical conclusion after probably at least another season, let's be real. But we all know this is the final season, so unfortunately they had to kind of wrap things up maybe a little faster than they would have normally, but not mad at it. We had... I think we had as much of a season as we could, considering that this is the final one. And I don't know whether or not the writers were thinking they were going to get more seasons when they ended last season. But all the same, I think that they did the best that they could to have an arc this season, but also kind of wrap up the story they were kind of ramping up to from season 1. And, having it kind of all end with the discovery that President Wade was still alive felt a little easy. It felt a little easy. It's like, oh, the president's still alive. Everything's fine now. Like, a lot of things were set in motion by the Camarilla. And I do think that there would have been a little bit more involved, but like just arresting Wade was not, or Blanton was not enough in my opinion. Like, you definitely needed to, like, I don't know. I mean, I know that they had to step in quickly because otherwise the girls were going to get executed, but it also just kind of felt like it was a bit sloppy. But I realize everything that I'm seeing very much yells to me that there was time constraints and they had to do the best that they could to tell this story and make it somewhat feasible in a really short amount of time. So we had to take the fact that, her coming back was enough to kind of set things back to their norm to a degree. But of course, the Camarilla have done a lot of damage. And that is the part that's always going to be more difficult to challenge is the prejudice and the misperceptions that people already have about witches and witchcraft that the Camarilla have already been pumping out for these last few weeks while everything was happening. So anyway, I'm a little surprised that they left Fort Salem. Like, I'm not saying they were unguarded, but I feel like if I knew the Camarilla was still out there and they all just kind of scattered at the capture of Blanton, I feel like if I would have like tripled down on this Fort Salem, like I would have had people everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the next thing I'd be having is like, I would have our people like 24/7 examining the Camarilla gear you could get your hands on to see like, how are they creating like the box that they had in the court with the reflective, the protection box the girls were in court, the gear that the Camarilla was wearing. Like they should be looking at all that stuff and looking what they can do to start reverse engineering it, figuring out how to deal with it. Like that would have been my whole focus right now. But I understand with the whole wedding situation. And I said it in the episode, even though we had Abby being like, so much is going on, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, we got the theme repeatedly from Alder. And then we got it also from, what's her name? Anacastia's boothing. That when you're in a world like this, I mean, even though it's a fictitious world that reflects the real world, bad things happen all the time. The sad reality is we have no control over what's going to happen and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. So it's very important to be present as much as we can and celebrate the good things when we can. And they finally had a breather. Like they said, if we don't get married now, we have no guarantee we'll be able to do this in 5-10 years, right? Like we need to do this now and get it over with. And I feel like it's kind of funny too that, Abigail was like, is this crazy? Blah, blah. I'm like, ma'am, did you not remember that your parents were trying to like arrange you to get married to somebody else the other day? Like you're already set up to get married to somebody and get pregnant in the next year anyways. Like at least now you're doing it on your own terms with someone you actually love and that you actually want to have a child with, right? So I thought it was kind of funny that she was like, is this crazy? It's like, no, sis, this was going to happen happen in some way or another, probably anyways. But again, I mean, if we look at the grand scheme of things, Abigail is very young, and it's completely understandable that in most cases, starting a family right now would not be ideal. But this is a different world, and as I mentioned a few episodes ago, especially for Adil, him continuing his family line is pretty huge because they literally are the last of their people. So if him, he's further along as far as being able to have kids, I think Kalita's still a little ways away from being in that place. But yeah, there's a little bit more urgency there, and I think Abigail understands. It's the same for her too. I believe she's the last of her line now maternally too. So, I mean, that they know of. I think there might be Belleweathers out there that they didn't know, but you get my point. They both have a real reason to start their family sooner than later. So I think it was nice to have the weddings. You already heard my comments in the episode. I feel like double weddings are weird, but for this situation, I understand why they did it. We don't have time for two wedding ceremonies this series, but I thought it was cute. I think it's kind of sad we didn't get to hear the vows. I think that would have been something nice and sappy after everything, but hey, it's fine. It turned out to be nice. The wrapping up of Nikta's storyline, I think it's only fair that, she does pay for her crimes. I said this before. As much as she's done a lot of good things to help everybody out, and her work has definitely been helpful to the military, we can't forget season 1 and the amount of unnecessary death that happened of civilians and innocent people at the, for the sake of her revenge plot is really what it came down to. Like, even though she told the president it was to save witches, it kind of was also to get revenge on Alder. And a lot of collateral damage happened with that. So I agree, like that can't just be forgotten or dropped. It also made things a lot worse for witches too. So I think that, yes, it's not wrong or unfair that she's gonna get hers. I mean, at least she's not gonna die. I feel like at the very least what she's done thus far, she might have reduced it from being a death sentence to maybe just being a very long time in jail. But there's a lot of witchcraft that can have it so that she can still have some semblance of a life, even if she does serve some time behind bars. But with everything that's going on with Fort Salem, I have a feeling that her going to jail once again is going to take a back seat. But I'll be 100. I'm not even that mad at this point that even if after everything is said and done, Nikta somehow gets away, I won't be that mad at it, because I do think she has changed, and I do think she would just kind of fade into the background for the most part and just kind of try to live the rest of her life kind of quietly, possibly atoning for what she did. So we'll see what happens. But yes, we're leading into this big finale now, and we see that the Camarilla has gone straight to the heart of the mycelium, which is what they wanted to get at before. We know that Alder and Rael's mom managed to stop the drilling that they were doing in different parts of the world, but there is still a huge mycelium access right there in Fort Salem. And I'm not sure what's going on with Hearst. We know that he's got that implant, which seems like it's fully integrated with his body now, and he's calling it Mother. And I think it's affecting him. I said that the other day. I think there's some kind of effect of that this witch blood is having on him now. So I don't think it's going to be as cut and dried as it looks right now. Like, he definitely still is crazy, but I think the witch blood is going to affect him in ways that even he didn't anticipate. And I do think it's going to end up being to his detriment in the end, because like I said, even when it comes to what's his name, Blanton's daughter, she still has the witch virus in her. So remember, he was immune to it before, but now that he's got the witch blood, he's no longer going to be immune. So he can actually be negatively affected by her. So I don't think he's even thought about that, but I don't think he even understands what's going on with her yet. So also we saw that the scientist, which unfortunately looks like she's going to die, which is super sad. We didn't get to see her actually die. So maybe there's a chance the mycelium will save her, which I think might be some poetic justice if that happens, honestly, because she's been obsessed with the mycelium for so long. So if it actually ended up saving her, I think she'd be over the moon. So we'll see if that happens, and we'll have to see how this all goes in the finale here. We saw that poor Raelle is looking quite sick. She's coughing up blood. Her eyes are glowing. And again, I feel like this has to do with the fact that the mycelium is being activated again, but we'll have to see what happens in the final episode, which I think is the next one. So I'm very excited to see it, and I think that we're building up quite nicely for whatever this finale is going to be. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next episode.